Hello and welcome to our annual Pittsburgh Steelers and Steelers Depot mock draft. I'm super excited to be joined by you guys for what should be a fun night and I think our most interactive ever, with a lot of you guys drafting against me, I guess I should say, not just alongside me, and should make for a fun night. So it's not just the CPU or a bunch of random people where somebody trades up and takes four running backs and sort of ruins the whole thing. So really excited to be here. We're going to start the draft at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Just give me a couple minutes to finish setting things up and get things good on my end. And for those not drafting, you can be my scouts and help me decide, maybe yell at me for who the Steelers should pick throughout this draft. So let me go ahead and pull up the waiting room. Do that here on my end. Make sure you guys can see it. Hopefully everything is fitting in the frame as it should. We'll double check that. But if you're in the chat, just let me know you're here and that you can hear me and everything sounds and looks as it should. Again, drafting 7 p.m. Eastern time, so top of the hour. My mic sounds a little different. No big deal, just a little off. That's interesting. Anyone else hearing the same? My mic settings have not changed at all, but we can test it out here. Anyone else? Check 1, check 2. Anything sound off? Maybe I'm not close enough to my microphone. Check, check, test, test. Again, drafting 7 p.m. Eastern time, top of the hour. Still time to join. There's a link in the chat if you would like to sign up and select a team. You have to get the premium feature. It's $5 for a month, so basically $5 if you want to sign up. I don't see a penny of that. That goes to Walk the Mock, the service. The only way we could do it drafting together. I tried other services and outlets, and nothing really made a lot of sense. Everything good to go. Works good for me. Mike says it's fine. Yeah, everything should be okay on my end. I don't know why anything would sound or be any different. I've not changed any settings, so I'll have to listen to it back afterwards. I don't know why it would be any different if there is a difference there. But if it sounds good, we'll proceed forward. Maybe Mike's just trying to get in my head because he's drafting as KC. See what the Chiefs do. You guys can like the stream, subscribe to the channel, and check out the site, SteelersDepot.com. We got a ton of final draft content for you guys. Our group mock drafts, the final ones, are about to be posted. I think Joe Clark's will go up at midnight tonight, and then there'll be ones from somebody on the team throughout the draft into next week. We'll have our final big board from Devin Jackson, the final player profiles and scouting reports. We'll have well over 300 of them this year, so great job by our team. And I'll put together a big board just based off our rankings of our own site-produced scouting reports. It'll be sortable, easy to read, kind of a quick guide if you want to look up a player really quickly that I think will become really valuable throughout draft weekend as the picks and names come off the board. F War 83 says, let's get some likes on the stream. Appreciate that. If you guys could bring in more people. And this is one of more popular events. I kind of did this a little more last second than usual. It's been a busy off season with the coaching staff change and just everything else. And so still certainly wanted to do at least one mock draft with you guys. This will be 4 rounds. There'll be trades, 1 minute per pick. And we'll see if anybody else is here. Again, there's a link in the chat if you would like to sign up. I'm going to try to do some polls. You guys know me and trying to do them midstream. It's always a little bit clunky. I don't have a great setup. I need to get a second monitor to be able to probably do that more effectively, but we'll make it work, and I'll probably do one before the draft kicks off. So you guys tell me, who should we take in the first round? Should we trade up? A team with 5 picks in the top 100, 12 selections total, gives us abnormal flexibility for where the Pittsburgh Steelers usually sit. So do we get aggressive and go up for a safety, a lineman, a wide receiver? I know that Dave He's the Ravens at 14. I wonder who he's going to pick. Ioane, I'm sure. So do we jump him and kind of rain on his parade? We could, but I'm sure Dave will be aware of that, especially if he's listening, and could jump on up from 14. John Pennington is here. We got Brian, Tim, Mike in the chat, so appreciate that. 46 people here total, so the more we get, the better. I believe the draft room will open up about 10 minutes ahead of time, and we can kind of go through it more. We're in the waiting room until the actual draft room opens up. So pick your team if you have not already and would like to play along with us. More people, the better. Just try to do it in a realistic fashion if you are controlling a team, but we'll have some fun. It's just a mock draft, not the end of the world over here, it's just sports. But really excited to do this with you guys. Love Vega, but guard is not a premium position. Giving up 3 or more picks for him is bad business. Yeah, I hear you on that. How often do teams trade up for guards? Not that often. I'm speculating and making an educated guess, but I'm pretty confident in saying that. So if he falls to you the way that David DeCastro did in 2012, different story. Do you give up capital, though, to go get him? Not to downplay the importance of anything on the offensive line. I think Pittsburgh's inroads and investments in the O-line has been really important. Mason McCormick, a real good find. Zach Frazier, second round. But do you want to trade up for a guard? In a good guard class, too. Certainly, Ioane is cream of the crop. I think there's a big gap between him and the next guy. But it is a good guard class. There are options, especially on day 2, that I think Pittsburgh could wait and explore that in the second to third round. Tommy says, I'd love to see the Steelers pick up yet another third rounder, load up on top 100, deal a 4th plus. It's possible. All one of many scenarios the team could explore to really add talent and get younger on this roster, an older roster that needs youth on both sides of the football. I wonder if that'll be a thought for Pittsburgh when it comes to the draft. Obviously, drafting any rookie, you naturally get younger, but will they look really towards the guys who are 21 and 22 as opposed to 23, 24, and even 25 in this world of NIL and guys staying in school for 5, 6, even more years? And Pittsburgh is generally trended towards younger players anyway, obviously for a second contract standpoint, developmental standpoint, longevity standpoint, but I wonder if that'll be an extra point of emphasis. I wonder if that'll be a topic of discussion whenever Mike McCarthy and Omar Khan or whoever speaks to the media pre-draft, assuming that's happening as usual. It's not happening tomorrow. The coordinators will speak to the media tomorrow. Brian Angelico, the OC, Patrick Graham, the DC, Danny Crossman, the special teams coordinator. I imagine we'll get word, though, soon of when McCarthy and Khan, etc. will speak. I think B. McCann just joined Buffalo, so appreciate that. Got a good, we probably have more than half the league. I won't count and do the public math for you guys, but more than half the league has been filled, which is awesome. What are your thoughts on the Brugler excerpt on the interior O-line options? I don't know if that was a reference to what he talked about, that Rutledge and Bisonitis might be first-round guys. There's some smoke screens this time of year. I think those could be late first-rounders. I wonder if 21 feels a little bit early on that, though. Tim, Fano, and Maui Noah should be traded up for if they fall out of the top 10. Fair, I'm a big Maui Noah fan. I imagine he won't fall out of the top 10, but you never know in a setting like this. C recorded this. I'm here. Go Dolphins. Open to trades. And so Miami picking at 11. I know that in real life, their new GM, John Eric Sullivan, just kind of put an open for business, open to trade down sign around his team in his pre-draft press conference. Said he's unlikely to go up, but willing and open to trading down as the Dolphins really broke down that roster and tore it down to the studs and need talent everywhere. So they got a bunch of picks, but I'm sure they could use as many as possible. Could that be a trade-up candidate if you want to jump, say, Baltimore at 14? Or if Dallas is eyeing a defender at 12 and you want a defender if somebody slips, could that be a possible trade destination? So thank you for being here. Be sure to like the stream. Subscribe to the channel. We'll have a lot of post-draft reaction when the real thing happens, starting in basically 1 week from today at 8 p.m. Thursday in Pittsburgh. So super exciting time for the city to host it. It's been all the talk on the local news, and it's going to be a really cool environment. Only the second time Pittsburgh has ever hosted the draft. They hosted it back in 1947 for the 1948 draft at the Fort Pitt Hotel, but obviously the draft then and the draft today, two radically different things. So first time in the modern era, and looks like B. McCann's going to be Tennessee instead. So we're simulating and watching who he wants to pick. He turned down Buffalo. I think Buffalo, if Pittsburgh wants to trade down, and I'm generally kind of a trade down kind of a guy, I think in reality, Buffalo is a perfect place to do it. You're going to move down 5 spots from 21 to 26. Buffalo may be more willing to give up 2027 capital. They're not as concerned about the strength of the quarterback class, at least what it potentially could be next year. And Brandon Beane is an aggressive early round drafter. He's traded up 3 times in the first round over his tenure. He traded up early in the second round last year. And usually those trades, with the exception of 2018 and Josh Allen, are a little more modest, going up 2, 3, 4 spots, something like that, giving up third, fourth round pick. I think you move down to 26, pick up a 2027 third round pick. It'll be late for Buffalo, kind of a fourth round equivalent. That makes a ton of sense for Pittsburgh to move down just a couple of spots, still get a good player, and pick up a piece of capital for 2027. That alone is not going to get you up the board dramatically in 2027 if a quarterback is there, but it all helps. It all adds up. The more flexibility, the more capital you have, the more moves you can make, and the more pieces there are on the board for you to move to. So I really endorse that. You never know what the board looks like when you're on the clock at 21. Maybe there's a great player staring you in the face. You'll want a Mekhi Lemon, somebody like that. But I think Buffalo is a team you have to talk to about trading down, one of those logical trade partners that really seems to fit. Is it realistic to trade a pick-starved Washington for next year's first? Could Patrick Queen and our pick 99 do it? I know the Commanders just spoke today and said they had little interest in trading down. You never know what is sort of lip service and when you put an offer out there, how much things change. But unless you're saying to trade a pick, to trade to a pick-starved Washington for next year's first, to get Washington's next year's first, I'm not sure if you're talking about Pittsburgh trading their 27 first or Washington trading it. I think you're saying Queen in 21 for their first round pick next year. No, that's not going to do it. It's not going to come close. And our pick 99 still no. It's going to require Pittsburgh trading their first to move up next year if you look at just the math of it all. Dave is here. I think he's here, so that's awesome. He's going to be Baltimore. Brian says, I hate receiver in the first, yet that rookie wage scale and the eye-popping contract for DK has me reconsidering a first-round receiver. Yeah, the receiver market in general has really exploded the last year plus, starting kind of with DK last March, getting that 30 million barrier, and then guys just started climbing the ladder from there, and it's not slowed down and has not stopped. So there's certainly a premium on paying for a wide receiver. Dorkman should be able to make it home for the start. Here we go. Glad you're here, Dorkman. How far can they realistically move up without giving up 27 capital? I mean, when you have these 12 picks and 5 in the top 100, there's not a lot of governors. I mean, you probably couldn't go up into the top 10, but if you want to go up to 11 and give up a lot of your day 2 capital, yeah, the math says that could work. Let's see. Run Bayou is here. Yo, this is a nice surprise. Yeah, happy to be drafting alongside you guys. See, recorded this. I welcome suggestions when I'm on the clock. You've been promoted to assistant GM, so there's a promotion. I don't know if I think it's for the chat, less me. Let me put up a poll and do it in my very clunky way. So I'm going to put up just the image for a second while I type it out very quickly, just to kind of see what you guys think about. If we stay at 21, who would be your favorite? And we don't even know who's going to be there. And so that's obviously a component of this. But I'm going to just put out a couple of options. I can't write every name down here, obviously. But let me just think about who else I want to maybe put in contention to be voted on. And we'll see what you guys think. Who should be the 4th? I got 3 names in there right now. Who could be the fourth name that I would like to add. I'll be a little selfish with it. And I don't know how to put a timeline on it, but the poll is up. So you guys let me know. And we'll get drafting at the top of the hour. I just saw a super chat come in too. I don't want to ignore that. A very generous super chat. And did the poll go through? It should have went through. I can't see it. You guys tell me. Super chat from Craig McKinney, Esquire, $25. Thank you so much, Craig. He says, Alex and Dave, thank you for putting this on. The draft is like Christmas. If all the top receivers are gone, Ioane gone, all the top O-linemen gone, what would you do? I think we talked about that end of the podcast, Craig. Kind of worst case scenario. That's sort of my answer to what the quote-unquote worst case scenario would be. Top receivers are gone. Some of those top linemen are gone. I would be looking to trade back if you had to stick and pick. You know, is Emmanuel McNeil-Warren there? Is there a really good corner? If all the linemen and receivers are gone, then somebody had to have fallen. You know, could that be an option? I like Colton LaHood from Tennessee, even though I'm not crazy about first-round cornerback, just based on kind of the needs of the team. But it'd be a tough spot. It would be the unideal situation for Pittsburgh. Is the poll up? Do you guys see the poll? Let me try to refresh the chat. I didn't see it come up. Unless they hit it on YouTube. Give me 1 second. Let me look here to see if I see it in the back end of YouTube. Yeah, I see you guys voting on it. It's kind of weird. I can't really see I only see the first name, though, with Ioane. He's clearly winning the vote. But it's a little bit weird that I can't see it on the back end or the front end, but you guys see it. The poll was hard to see. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. YouTube is sort of bugged. Usually it just shows up and it's pretty clear. So I don't know what's going on there. 11 minutes until the draft is live. I think we'll be able to join the team here or join the lobby in about 90 seconds. Yeah, I don't know why that poll is not showing up really at all at my end in terms of me looking at my phone and looking at the chat. But as long as you guys see it, then that's good. Let me end the poll here and just see if the results show up well, because that's going to be the important thing on my end. So thank you for those who voted. I'm not seeing the results of the poll. Oh, no, it just came through. Okay. So at least I can see it whenever it's over, which is the important part, but I will not be able to see it super well as you guys are voting and the poll is live. And it was a runaway with Ioane. All right, let's say hello to some people. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. 4-round live Steelers mock draft going against many of you fine people. Wanted to make this as interactive as possible so it wasn't just the CPU or a bunch of random people on the internet who kind of troll and just don't make it as fun. We got Jason here. We got Thomas and Tom. We got Vinay, Andrew, Calvin. Try a different browser. It's going to get messy if I start doing all that stuff. It's fine. We'll make it work. How do you think having a new coach will impact the draft at all? Just less information, a little less certainty on the Blues clues as we will enter the draft. And let's just go default ranking. And hopefully all this looks good. I think there's been some issues in the past of everything kind of fitting on screen. I can't make this bar smaller. They've always had this way too large where it cuts off a lot of the players. I can't do anything about that. So let's see how it looks. Let me know if there are any clear issues of text being cut off, and I'll try to adjust it the best I can on the fly here. It looks good on my end, though. That bottom third ticker, I can't make it smaller. I wish I could. There's no need for it to take up a third of the screen. We can make it half that size and still be able to see the information very clearly and then be able to see more of this. But I can do this to help bring up some more names. No one's taken the Raiders. I would love to see somebody take Las Vegas, even though I know who they're going to take first overall. It was cool to see Antonio Williams match their what they look for. I like him a lot. Day 2, yeah, I was excited to see that too. Disappointed he was the only one to check every single box in the what they look for study. Unfortunately, a lot of guys just not testing, and that's increasing over time. And we don't know how much weight it will hold with a new coaching staff. And so there's just that newness when they go to only one pro day, when they only bring in probably 6 potential first-round visitors. It gets a little abnormal in terms of how we can usually Blues Clues it up. But we'll make it work. I'll have my final mock draft on Tuesday, and you guys can tell me how terrible it is. A time-honored tradition. Dave needs to draft a punter round 1. Ravens do need a punter. They lost Jordan Stout to the Giants, one of many Ravens to defect to East Rutherford. So take Brett Thorson, Dave. That'd be my advice to you. Skip Ioane. Thorson is the guy that you want. I did some homework on the Vikings, but can switch to the Raiders if it helps. Brenton, whatever you prefer is totally cool. You want to be Minnesota? That I have no problem with that. So whatever you prefer, it's not a big deal if somebody doesn't take the Raiders. Is it too late to get in? It is not. I don't know if I can copy and paste the bar, but since you scroll up, there'll be a link there, or go to my post community tab on YouTube, and there'll be a link to join. You do have to pay. It's for the premium feature to join and draft with other people. Money does not go to me, for the record. It goes to the site you're looking at. Let's target an inside linebacker, Rodriguez or Galde, says Vinay, if I'm saying that correctly. Certainly could. Pittsburgh showed some interest there, and there's a potential longer-term need, 2027 plus. So let me kind of click around the board here. Who would we take in the first round? All these good receivers, but who's going to be a great receiver is the question. These safeties, it's a good safety class. Downs and Thieneman, McNeil Warren, all potential or likely first-round selections. Where will Jeremiah Love go? We'll find out in 6 minutes. So appreciate you being here. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel. There'll be a ton of post-draft content for you guys. We'll be talking about these players and these selections once they're finally known in depth every which way for the offseason. So as of right now, we got Amadou Me as the first user slated to pick, and then B. McCann with Tennessee, Adesso at number 5 with the Giants, Chris Neal taking the Browns at number 6. And so we got a good amount of people here drafting, a lot right in front of Pittsburgh. There was no computer picks from 7 to when the Steelers were on the clock, and we'll be open to trades, as I'm sure you may be as well. I know that C. wrote this, who is running Miami, is open to trades, and maybe we'll make him an offer. What do you guys think? Should we trade up? Yeah, there was a bit of a delay from the draft clock to the feed. Maybe I should have changed the latency. I don't know if I can go back and do that. I just kind of kept the settings the same. Let me look really quickly. Can I change latency? I don't know if I can do that without like a whole brand new stream. All right, are we good still? YouTube's getting a little funny in the back end. I think we're good. There may be a delay, but it's not too bad. John Pennington, I would like Ted Hurst somewhere in the draft. Yeah, Georgia State kid has certainly helped himself in the pre-draft process. Great Senior Bowl week. Can you quickly show us how to offer trades? Oh, I'm not sure. Can you do trades before the draft is live? I'm not sure if you can actually do that now. And I've not touched this. I should have attempted a test run, but shame on me for not doing that. Where was the trades bar? I don't think it appears until the draft is live. But maybe we can look at it when the Raiders are on the clock to start. Dorkman is here. He made it home in time. Appreciate that. Run by, I'd rather trade it in the second. Yeah, I think in realistic terms, and it's always tough to predict. Oh, the clock froze. We good? It's kind of being weird. I think Pittsburgh trading up in the second round, taking a couple of those third round picks is a real possibility. But so is moving up in the first round. You just never know. Never know how the draft board is going to break. Yeah, I like Sam Roush. I think he's a well-rounded tight end who can block and played in a more pro-style system. I think Pittsburgh's looking at those Big Ten tight ends. It's what they've drafted almost exclusively for the last decade, with the exception of Darnell Washington. So I think they've looked at, who was it? Kasmerick and Klein from Ohio State and Michigan, respectively. Could see one of those guys. And I know there's still the rumblings on Sadiq from Oregon, technically a Big Ten tight end. Could he be the guy? Do we look at him if he's there at 21? And will the Steelers do so 1 week from today? I'm doing this for Omar Khan. I'm just going to let him use this as a test run. He told me to do this mock draft 1 week so he can kind of put himself in that scene. That's what he said. I keep getting an internal service error. Yeah, I don't know if there's an issue on the back end. I don't know how stable the site has been. I've not done a whole lot aside from making this a couple days ago and signing up, and here we are. Only trade for more picks, not less, says Lightning Rod. We'll see. I can't always control what the offers are. Just got my hotel room for draft week from Toledo, Ohio, says Talia. Who's going to be at the draft? Let me know in the chat if you're making the trip or if you're already in Pittsburgh and plan on attending the draft at Acrisure on the North Shore. Let me know who's all going to be there. I will not, for anyone asking. We're going to be at home. It's a very busy time, and I don't mind not having some drunk Browns fans scream at me for 4 hours, so I'm okay being at home. So we will not have representation there, but a really cool event for those who are going. I do have friends who are going, and they are certainly pumped. And I'm pumped that we're going to start drafting in 1 minute and 10 seconds. Who will we take? No idea. Never know. Mats will be there on Thursday. Control Squat Delete says trade up for Lemon or Yowane. If you guys could like this stream, subscribe to the channel. Would love as many people here as possible. It's kind of our big yearly event, this annual mock draft, and wanted to make it as interactive as possible and draft alongside you guys. And we do have a human for the first overall pick with Brown. Maybe that's Antonio Brown saying, after my short stint with the Raiders, I'm going to come back and make them a really good roster. So maybe actually, I think AB is a little busy right now. I'm not sure if he has great internet access, but we'll put that aside. 15 seconds to draft, where we assume Fernando Mendoza, who will not actually be at the real draft in Pittsburgh 1 week from today, but we assume he'll be the number one pick in real life and in this mock draft. But you never know. Never know what could happen. So we are, I think, live. The clock is at 0. Have we started? The Raiders are on the clock. Do I have sounds? Let's see if we have sounds. Can we put the sound on? Getting some really bad lag from the site. I don't think it's my computer, but we did put sound on, so hopefully this goes okay. Yeah, it's being a little laggy. I'm not sure if the site's having some back-end issues. Let me know if you hear any sounds whenever the pick comes in. I think I got a trade offer. There's the trade offer. We are live. Let me get my legs under me. Interesting trade from Detroit, but I can't do anything right now until we see what the board is like. So I'm gonna hold on to that as the Raiders taking up the entire clock. Who will they pick? And the Raiders will select. We're still waiting for the official announcement. Las Vegas Raiders select. Pick is in. And it is Fernando Mendoza. Let me know if that's too loud. I suspect that it is. And it's still being a little glitchy on my end, so we're going to try to lower the volume here. But you guys let me know as the Jets are on the clock. Keep an eye on the Tampa Bay pick. If Lemon is there, move up right before the Jets. Yeah, the sound is quite loud. I did just turn it down. May have to turn it down some more, so let me know after the Jets make their pick if things are still loud, but it should be quieter. For this one, I'll shut up and make sure you guys can hear it. So it's Francis Maui-Noah, second overall. No edge rusher for the Jets. That still might be too loud, so I'm going to turn it down a bit more. We'll figure it out. We got a lot of picks here to get the audio right. But the Jets and Maui-Noah, a trade. The Texans coming up to 3. Can I see what the trade details were? We'll find out the pick first. And the Texans go up to get Caleb Downs. Still loud, you guys say, so I'm going to turn it down a whole lot. And hopefully this will get us closer. If it continues to be super loud, we may disable the audio. Can I see what the trade details were? With Arizona, wow. Houston coming up a long way, giving up next year's first, second, and third, plus their second-round pick, a blockbuster deal. The Texans going all in on Caleb Downs. How about that for a trade? And Arizona going all the way down the board. So the Houston Texans, Calvin Liu, loving Caleb Downs. What does Tennessee do at number 4? We're going to get the Titans pick. There it is. Arvell Reese, the pick. And the Chiefs have come up. Mike Adesso making a deal. Coming up to 5 from number 9, giving up a second and a third. So what will Mike do? Who is he going up for is the question. Sounds are at a good level right now. Does audio sound good? I figured that would help out quite a bit. So if everyone else agrees with F4, then we'll keep it. Hopefully things have been stable. It's been a little laggy on my end. I don't think it's my computer. Hopefully not. See what the Chiefs do. Who did Mike trade up for? David Bailey. And I believe they have the college incorrect on here, saying Stanford. He is from Texas Tech. But either way, that's the pick. And that's the trade. That's the move that Mike made. Sound is good. All right, good deal. Yeah, with the Giants. Well, the Giants traded down. Will they still get love? We got a trade offer. It's from New England to trade back, get a second and next year's fourth. Interesting, but I'm still going to wait until I know what the board looks like a whole lot better than right now. But that's a tempting trade offer from New England as the Cowboys move up, which certainly could happen in real life, and they get Sonny Styles, as the Browns will move back to number 20 So Dallas keeps 12, and they get a third. It's a nice deal, I think, all around. Really good move from Dallas. Washington, what will they do at 7? They're sticking and picking. And they take Cardinal Tate. A nice selection there. First receiver off the board. Just going to check one thing here really quickly. I'm going to put the image on screen. Just give me, after the Saints pick, we'll do it. And the first corner off the board, Mansour Delane. All right, give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to check one thing on the back end, and then we'll get right back to showing the draft on screen. Just want to make sure my computer is running as good as possible to maybe fix a little bit of the lag that I'm experiencing. All right, we're back. Haven't missed a pick, and it comes in quickly. Who are the Giants taking? We're moving right along here in round number 1. Giants trade back and still get Jeremiah Love. That's really good business, I think, from the Giants. As they move down, they picked up a second and a third, and still get maybe the best talent in the draft in Jeremiah Love. Another trade offer. Take a look at it. From Miami, for me to move up, giving up a second and a fourth. Also, I'd get back their third. How do we do this? We got to figure this out here quickly. Bengals on the clock at 10. Do we make this deal? It's a tempting offer. I think it's a decent offer. We can get a receiver, get one of the top safeties, probably be where I'd be targeting. I know there's also Ioane. Don't have a lot of time, so let me know. Bengals are going to pick here. I'm leaning towards no on the Dolphins offer. But let's see what Cincinnati does here. They take Jermod McCoy, who, if healthy, might be the best corner in the draft. On this Dolphins deal, pretty good offer. Giving up first, second, and a fourth. Get back pick 11 and a third. I don't know if there's a player I love enough. But there's one player I'd be looking to take that I think you guys would disagree with. I think I'm going to decline. It's a good offer, but I'm not going to make that big of a move yet. I don't think I need to do that. Miami's going to pick and say, doesn't matter what you think, Alex. We got to pick. So Miami takes Mekhi Lemon, and they will get a top-tier receiver. Still have 2 offers. Have this one from Detroit, too, giving up a third to go up 4 spots. And then one from New England. So we're getting closer and closer to making our selection. And the Cowboys, who had traded up to get Sonny Styles, back on the clock at 12. Stay at 21. Okay, most people said stay. Yeah, I'm okay with staying there. I think that was a good offer. It was a fair offer, but just not going to make that move. Not right now. And the Cowboys have made a trade, so they've been busy. Carolina's going to come up. See if I can see what it looks like. We'll find out the pick, and then maybe we'll look at the trade terms. And Ruben Baines off the board. I like that fit. What were the trade terms? Dallas going down 9 spots, picking up a third. So a lot of wheeling and dealing on Dallas's end, and then immediately the pick is in for the Rams. And they will take Monroe Freeling from Georgia. And now Dave Bryan on the clock at 14. I think I know who he's going to take here. And I don't think we're going to be able to make a trade offer that would persuade him to do anything else. Trade down in the first, trade up for an extra second. Says AB 82-24. Only trade down a few spots, make it as realistic as possible. Yeah, we'll try to keep it realistic, but we'll have some fun with it too. We're going to have an awesome, epic draft year, or draft this year, says Lightning Rod. Hope so. Should be a really fun time. I think Pittsburgh can make some really big improvements at the roster. Top of the board right now, Spencer Furneaux, Jordan Tyson, Ioane, will he be gone here? Kenyon Sadiq, Dylan Thieneman, Keem Mesidor, Keldrick Falk, Caden Proctor, Omar Cooper Jr. The pick is in. Dave for Baltimore. And who will they take? It's Kenyon Sadiq. Dave throwing a curveball. I thought for sure would have taken Ioane. He's going to take Sadiq. I have a trade offer that's come in, and we're getting ready to come up on the clock here with Tampa Bay. Gave up a third to go up to 15. I don't hate that, but we got to make a decision right now. Can I counter? I'm going to try to, if I can get this thing to work. I don't know if we're going to have time to counter this. It's still being a little bit laggy on my end, which is not helpful in time-sensitive situations like this. I don't even know why I can't make a trade offer. That seems really weird. So we're going to have to just wait, let Tampa pick. And they're going to take Mesidor. Can I make a trade offer? Okay, now it shows up. And the Jets are picking. Wow, this board is moving fast. Jets take Jordan Tyson. Can I do something with Minnesota, maybe? I'm trying to click on the picks here. I might make this offer to Minnesota. How do I officially make it? Where's the button to officially? There it is. See if Minnesota wants to do anything. We got Detroit at 17. Yeah, it's being super laggy. I hope this is not on my end, and hopefully it's going to maybe work itself out. But everything seems to be super delayed, which is not great. Lions make their pick. Let's just look at it here. They'll take Spencer Fernell. We have the trade offer out to Minnesota, giving up 99 overall to go up from 21 to 18. Could we get Ioane? There's one of two names I'm looking at here. Would not give up a third to move up 3 spots. Yeah, but if you want to get your guy, you got to get your guy. Mike McCarthy might want more offensive picks. Just stay put. See what Minnesota does. They are on the clock here. I think it's Ioane or Thieneman. I really like Thieneman to get that true free safety center fielder. But you're also right that maybe one of those two names will fall, but it's no guarantee. They could still theoretically be both gone by the time Pittsburgh picks. Other top players, top receivers, Omar Cooper Jr., Casey Concepcion, Denzel Boston. See what Minnesota has to do here. Caden Proctor, one of the top linemen available. I've been sent a trade offer. We will not be making a deal with Minnesota, I don't think. I think we get an offer from the Dolphins to move back and pick up a third. And the Vikings will take Avion Terrell. So I got to click out here. See if we can make our pick. Dallas and Cleveland. I think we're not going to trade up. I think we're looking at Ioane or Thieneman. And we just hope that Chris and Busby start listening and they take both those guys. Browns certainly could use offensive line help. It's hard to think Ioane is going to get past Cleveland. But I think we just stick at this point, unless both those guys are gone. Ioane is slipping. Yeah, he is. But will that slip stop at 20 right in front of us? Cleveland in that deal moving down from 6 to 20. As Dallas will make their pick. And the Cowboys will take McNeil Warren. And so we're going to sit. We're not going to trade out because I got two guys that I certainly would love to take at 21. If they were both gone, I think we look at trading down. Also have Omar Cooper Jr., but I think receivers deep enough. Got a lot of good receivers out there where I think he can sit and wait. And take Ioane or Thieneman. Chat, let me know. Who would you rather see if both are on the board? Is it Ioane or Thieneman as the pick? Let me know who you think we should take. Be sure to like this stream as well to get as many people as possible. Over 200 in the chat, so really appreciate that. Cleveland, who will the Browns take? That is the big decision. Art wants me to trade. I'm not going to trade, Art. We're on the clock. We can't let the animation play out. The Browns take Omar Cooper Jr., so both are on the board. We don't have much time here. Should it be Ioane? Should it be Thieneman? Let me know. I really like Thieneman, but I know many people want Ioane too. So we got 30 seconds to figure this out. Which one should we take? Both really good players. I think certainly both worthy of the pick. The chat, the scouts are saying, Vega, Ioane, we're going to do it. We'll take Penn State left guard. Vega, Ioane. Where's my animation at? There it is. Falling right into our laps, just like David DeCastro. Dave surprising us all, not taking him at 14. No one else taking him. The Browns passing. They take Omar Cooper Jr., a solid pick. They need receiver help. They did really build up that offensive line in free agency with Titus Howard, and who else came in? Who's the Chargers guard that came in? Zion Johnson. So I'm happy with that. Chat seems super happy with that too. So Vega, Ioane, plug and play left guard. The offensive line investments continue from Broderick Jones, Zach Frazier, Troy Fautanu, Mason McCormick. Really developed well. Overall, Broderick has not hit in the way that you hope, but Dylan Cook's come in. Spencer Anderson, a 7th round pick. Gotten a lot of hits across the board. Chargers, see who they're picking. The clock's getting weird. Chargers take Peter Woods from Clemson. Do we trade back into the first round? Where are all the receivers at? Certainly still a major need for this team. It's a good class, though. Pittsburgh will have their options, but it's a wait until number 53 unless we make a move up. Trade up for CJ Allen. Nah, I'm not going to trade up. Not crazy enough to do that. Not crazy on the idea. Jonathan, Fautani, McCormick, Frazier, Vega, a beautiful right to left for the next 10 years. Yeah, you can't be mad at that. You can't be mad about building up a good offensive line. Dave saying had Sadiq been gone, he would have gone with Ioane. So that was his thought. I think Sadiq's a solid pick. Yeah, we were time traveling. This I don't know. Has anyone else been trying any walk the mock drafts? Has it been glitchy? Thieneman going to Philadelphia. Good pick there. I'm not sure it's because it's streaming or if it's buggy on their end or my end or what, but it's felt a little laggy. Trade back. You got 10 picks. If Denzel Boston is there around 30, he might be worth it. The Browns, there's the offensive lineman. That's not bad with Proctor. If you kick him inside the guard, that'd be like taking Ioane and they get Omar Cooper Jr. So nice draft here for Cleveland. We don't like saying that around here, but I think it's been a good draft. Yeah, trade back up. I mean, I can make maybe some offers. Kansas City, maybe you look back up to get back in. Maybe I'd give up that 3 to do it, but that feels like it's not gonna be enough. I'll make this offer to KC, giving up 2nd, 3rd, and a 4th for 29th overall. See what that looks like. As the Bears, computer, going to make the pick. We're doing 4 rounds, 4-round mock draft. Lee Hunter would be a great pick if available, says FDU7H. What receiver would you try to trade up for? Concepcion is there, as this is really glitched out. as the Bears take Keldrick Falk. Been sent a trade offer from the Titans to move up into the top of the second round. My trade has been rejected, which was the one to KC, which is fair. Trade up top of the second round. The Bills take Caleb Lemu. Have to kind of wait and see how the rest of the board plays out before we make that trade or not. It's only given up a third, though. It's not a bad offer. Let me pull it back up here. With Tennessee, I'd be giving up, is that the middle of my third round picks, I think? Or is it the first one? I can't tell top of my head. To base what, that's getting 36, the third pick of the second round. It's not a bad deal. I think we needed to keep a close eye on that. I want to see if there's a run on receivers, though, because there are going to be a bunch of them to go at the end here, and that's going to change probably our feelings about moving up. But Concepcion, Boston, Brazel, Bell, Bernard, Branch, Fields, Williams, Hurst, Surratt, Bell, Lance, Burks, all those top receivers still on the board. And as the Niners will make their pick. Yeah, the Browns having Proctor and Dawan Jones. A lot of beef. Ayers Concepcion. Did not think he was going to last a whole lot longer. Is the need for receivers so high that it must be first or second round? I don't like saying things are must, but it's one of those high-level needs. I kind of put things in buckets of needs, wants, and luxury / not really needs, and I think receiver certainly is in that need category, that need bucket for a team that needs more depth and it's going to run more 3-receiver, 11 personnel sets. Pittman, will he be here for the long haul? We'll see. And just tired of an offense feeling like it's underpowered in the pass game, which it has been for many years, really since, it doesn't matter. It's been a long time. Got a trade offer as the Cardinals about to make their selection. The offer with KC, getting 29th overall. I think I like the Titans offer better. So I think we're going to probably reject that Chiefs trade. As the Cardinals will pick, and they take TJ Parker from Clemson. And so Mike with Kansas City, who rejected our trade earlier. Denzel Boston still on the board. It's not bad value here, but I want to wait on that Titans offer and see how the board falls. Certainly could take it. What else is a big need? Top safeties. Halsey and Ramsey and Clark, Wheatley. Top corners. Colton Hood is still out there. As the Chiefs will turn in the card. Could this be for Colton Hood? It's Denzel Boston. And so Mike, who has wiretapped the Steelers front office, hearing the talk about Boston, he'll take him instead. And so does that change our plans to go up and get a receiver? Do we sit there and wait? Skylar Bell in the second. Wonders Tommy. Ty Simpson time, says Harrison Baldwin. Love to see Antonio Williams in the third. Would it be easier to work out a deal to get that second round pick to have 2 in the second? Maybe. Could still consider this Titans offer, which is giving up a third round pick and a 7 for the 36th overall selection. Still on the table. It's not been taken off. Putting them on hold. As the Dolphins take the buzzy and fast-rising, quote-unquote, Chris Johnson. Top names, Blake Miller, Ty Simpson, Caden McDonald, CJ Allen, Cassius Howell. Colton Hood is still there, as the Patriots quick to pick. Zion Young, the pick, and I think another one might have just come in. The Rams will take Ty Simpson as Joe, trading up with Seattle, giving up next year's first. So banking on Simpson being better than next year's potentially great crop of quarterbacks. I like the aggression. And let's see. What do we do here? Still have that trade offer from Tennessee. Stukes, Scott, or a receiver, says control squat delete. I think Banks is worth the foot risk. I would try to wait, says John. So we got to decide on this Tennessee offer. Basically, right now, we're in the top of the second round. I think it's a good deal, though. I like the deal. The question is, who do you go get? I think we should accept this Titans offer. Let me know in the chat quickly. But I think we accept it, and we'll figure out a pick. As the Jets will take Cassius Howell. If this offer is still there, the Lions, they make their pick. With Colton Hood, I think we accept the deal. If I can accept it. And we are trading up to 36. We are on the clock, and you guys got to hurry up and tell me who we're taking. Top of the board, Miller, McDonald, Allen. Do we take Brazel, Bell, Bernard? What do we do here? We got to make a pick, and we got to make one quickly. I'm looking at Bernard here. I want to get one of these receivers. Who do we take? Is it Jeremy Bernard? Do we make that aggressive move here? Running out of time to make that decision. The top safeties available too. Halsey and Ramsey. Some good safeties out there. But I think in the end, if I can get this thing to not lag, let's take Jeremy Bernard. It's a little bit earlier than what I would have wanted to in an ideal world, but that's how the draft goes. And so we're going to trade up, make sure we get that receiver. Jeremy Bernard, good route runner, smart, productive. Can play inside, can certainly play in the slot. And so we moved on up. We gave up a 7th and a 3rd round pick for 36. I think that's a good value on our part. Still have, that was, 85 overall. Still have 76. Still have 99. And we're happy about that. So it's a good offer from Tennessee. Going up there, getting our guy. And there was some saying Zachariah Branch would have also made sense. Certainly fair to argue. But Bernard is the pick. The Raiders taking the big nose tackle, Caden McDonald. So let me know how you think about the pick. Jeremy Bernard, after Ioane fell to us at 21. I think we did not have to give up a whole lot. I think that's realistic for Pittsburgh to trade up into the second round, whether that's acquiring another second round pick or, as we did, moving up for a better, earlier second round pick. Pregnon, nice selection for the Giants. Rodriguez to Cincinnati would make me nervous. Next, I would take Darrell Jackson Jr. Yeah, we're waiting a little while to pick 76 for our next selection, especially after trading up early into the second round. Do we trade up again? Could we make another second round pick? Do we give up our 2/3 to go up in the second round? I'm still eyeing safety as a need, and there's some good safeties out there. Two quarterbacks gone so far. Joe trading up as the Rams GM to get Ty Simpson. And the Cardinals about to pick. And the music not playing for some reason. Blake Miller as the music comes on. I feel like this is a walk the mock lag issue or something, because they've had some weird stuff with the clock going overtime. Hopefully it's not my computer. It's supposed to be a nice computer that could run basic, simple graphics, so I don't know. Tampa Bay selection, C.J. Allen out of Georgia. Had a good workout the other day. He comes off the board. Ross taking Allen. Let Ramsey fall to you. Offer a third and fifth and see if there's a taker for a second. I'm not sure if that feels insulting. There's Rodriguez to the Giants. F-War 83. I don't hate it, and that's rare. That's high praise for a mock draft, so I'll take that for sure. Bernard is going to be a mid guy at best. Doesn't have the speed or ability to separate against press man. We have the room to let Chris Bell sit and heal, and he has the potential to be a true number one, says Grit Iron Grit. Fair? Yeah, I understand the different flavors at wide receiver, and had Bell not torn his ACL, then that'd be a much different conversation about where he's going to go in the draft. So I hear you on that. Branch would have had value. I like Antonio Williams a lot too. I think that also would have made sense. It would have felt high at 36, but if he's the guy, then he's the guy. Bengals improving their linebackers after the dreadful play last year. We have a trade offer. Let's see what this is about. Let's see, from Houston to get another third-round pick, only give up a fourth. I want to see what the board looks like, though. It's a little early for that, but that's not a bad offer, Houston, though. It's going to be a while before they pick, and so I want to wait and not assume who might be there if there's a run on a position or a player that I want. But that is a, I think, reasonable offer from Houston. Who's left at inside linebacker? We'll check that after the Saints turn in the card. And they take Chris Bell. So they'll wait for him to get healthy after that December torn ACL and ensuing surgery. Jake Alday, Josiah Trotter, the Pitt kid, Kyle Lewis, Jayshon Barham might be more of an edge. Deontay Lawson, Caleb Alarms Orr. Still some good linebackers out there. Top defensive lineman, Caleb Banks still out there. Christian Miller, Lee Hunter available. Dominique Orange, Big Citrus, Grayson Halton, Daryl Jackson Jr., the small schooler, Caleb Proctor, and Dante Corleone. Big nose tackle as well. Miami making the pick. They'll go tackle to help protect Malik Willis. Where will the second running back go? Jeremiah Love went 9 to the Giants. Where will his teammate, Jadarian Price, go? Could he go to Dave? Coming up here, Derrick Henry getting a little long in the tooth. Keaton Mitchell left. We'll see. Wait for Kyle Lewis. He's got some Lewis fans. Botcher could be a later round pick. Lewis or Orange, says John Pennington. Let's see what the Jets do. Cisse, Brandon Cisse. I'm not that crazy personally about Cisse. I wrote the report on him, and I didn't come away feeling like, he's athletic and he's still young. But I don't know. I didn't really feel like this is, early day 2 corner. But I get the pick there after trading Sauce Gardner last year to the Colts. And R. Mason Thomas is there the edge. Apparently the R, according to what Joe Clark wrote, the R stands for nothing. They put it there. It stands for nothing. And it's just a family thing where he's R. Mason as opposed to just Mason. Always some fun draft nuggets this time of year. Love the upside of the Dolphins draft. That guy really must know his stuff. You got a good agent, a good promoter over there. See what Dave does after taking Kenyon Sadiq at 14 with his next pick. Where will he go? Still have that trade offer too from Houston. I don't know who I would take. A safety? Okay. They skipped over Baltimore, going to Cleveland. There's our Mason Thomas. Just spoke about him. Who did Dave take? Dave took Malachi Lawrence. So getting some pass rush help. That's a nice pick there. And then our Mason Thomas. So the edge run might be starting. Who would I take if I take that Texans deal? I'm looking at safety. Halsey, Ramsey are the two names I'm looking at. You go D-line, Banks, Christian Miller too. Wouldn't be a bad idea. What do you guys think? We got that Houston deal still floating around, giving up 76 and a fourth. Another offer coming in from Carolina, giving up our 2/3. Nah, I'm not going to do that. Not going to do that. I don't know who I would take if I made that deal right now, and I want to be able to kind of think it through. So the Colts take Jennings Dunker with the mullet. Yeah, the top safety, somebody was asking about. See the list here. Halsey, Ramsey, Clark, Wheatley, Genesis Smith are the top names available. Top on the board overall, Caleb Banks, Shadarian Price. Bryson-itis is still there. It's really good value for whoever takes him. We won't be in the market for taking Ioane. Another trade offer coming in, if it'll show up. With the Chiefs, no. For their third, no, we're not going to do that. Not giving up next year's capital. We're just not in that position to give up future picks right now. Yeah, I'm considering that Houston trade too. It's still outstanding. I just wanted to let the board kind of play out before making that trade up now when there were 25 picks still to come, and now we're getting closer to decision time. I'm looking at a safety. If I'm going to trade up there, and I want to see if there's going to be a safety run, as the Falcons will pick. And there's Caleb Banks. So his wait is over. Top edge rushers, just to kind of click on through. Who are the top corners available? Pons, Abney, Scott to play nickel, Stukes, safety, nickel, hybrid, Igbinosin, Malik Muhammad. It's a good name to consider. It's Minnesota will make their pick. And they'll take Kamari Ramsey. They're certainly looking at safety help with Harrison Smith at his elder age. Did Harrison Smith officially retire? I forget. I think he did, but maybe I'm wrong. Do you consider trading down if you like the safety group and feel like you can wait? Do you consider that too? But now that group might be thinning out a little bit. There goes Christian Miller. And yeah, I think you're right. I think I was reading that wrong. I think I was getting next year's second round pick, so my bad. But it's been rejected, so what can you do? Oh, let's see what our capital is. Carolina's on the clock. We got, what do we have here? 2/3, 2/4. Still outstanding. Not sure why that says 2-3 there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you guys have done Walk the Mock and you guys have done the exercise. If it's been buggy, let me know. Or if it's been smooth sailing on your end. Just, I'd like to know if it's my end or not. Ayers. I gotta learn how to pronounce that to be confident in that. In Bicentis. I gotta look that up. I gotta look at Dane Brugler's guide. We gotta draft a punter. We could draft a punter, but not now. Gridiron Grit thinking Stukes. All right, we gotta decide if we're taking this Tennessee deal or not. And again, a reminder on the Tennessee deal. Let me pull it up here. Giving up 76 and a fourth to move up. I think it's a good deal. I think it's one we really need to be considering here. I think we should do it. Let me know your thoughts on the Tennessee deal. We're going to make our decision after the Titans pick. As the Packers take Lee Hunter. Bisontis. It just seems laggy on my end. Everything is like really being laggy, where it takes forever to load on my end. Like everything is on, 3 to 5 business day delay right now. So it's making it a little harder to navigate. Hopefully things look good on your end. Maybe it is on my end. The computer has been kind of weird. Chrome has just been such a memory hog. So if you're an IT guy, I don't know, let me know. I've spent the midnight oil trying to make my computer faster, and it's been fighting me every step of the way. So Tennessee made their pick. Are we taking the Texans deal? I think if we're trading up, it's going to be for Halsey. Nobody worth taking. No deal, says Dorkman. I think we got to look at it. Is it a little too soon? There's still 5 picks ahead of where the Texans are at. And if you're going for one guy, it's hard to, white knuckle that the whole way and hope that nobody takes him. The Eagles took Thieneman. They should not be in a position to take Halsey. And they'll take Stowers, who had a historically good combine workout. Texan Steel still on the table. Want to get the chat's thoughts. Be sure to like the stream too. Would really appreciate that. Yeah, it could be OBS. I've never had issues in the past on what were worse computers and laptops that I had, so I don't know. I'll put my complaints aside though. We'll make it work. Do we take this Texan Steel? All right, officially we're going to wait after the Jaguars pick. Then there's no humans who could be listening in with wondering ears to potentially steal our selections. Oh, it's getting weird. I think we take the Texans deal if I can get there. Kind of, the site is freaking out on me a little bit, though. I think we're going to accept this deal. We're going to move on up. And we're going to try to get AJ Halsey. Let's just hope the Bears and Niners do not take him. See, I'm getting like this glitch. Like you see the clock is now repeating itself. So I don't know what's going on there. I think there's some issues with the site. I don't know why we're getting the clock here twice. But we've traded up. And I think the Bears are picking. I've been sent a trade offer. Try to look at it here. I get next year's first. I just traded up there. If Halsey's gone, then I might do that. If we lose our guy. Pond sitting there is tempting. Do you guys not see the clock appearing twice? Like I had the clock kind of stacked. Okay, just I think fixed itself. As the Bears are picking. Oh my god, they take Halsey. Oh my goodness. I think should we trade out? Do we get next year's first? That's not good. That's unfortunate timing. We don't love that. I think we got to look at this getting next year's first round pick from Detroit. I think we have to do this deal now. I think we got to do it. I think we have to do it. I think it's with a quarterback class. We're going to accept. We have to take that deal. That's too good of a deal to take. So we moved up and then moved right on out of the spot. But I think it worked out. We get next year's first round pick. So Detroit probably be a lower pick. Root for the Lions to be terrible. But I mean, that's too good to pass up. Even if Halsey was still there, it's hard to not take that deal. That's a troll pick? Maybe it is. I don't know. The Niners take Derek Moore. There's no way that Detroit deal is anywhere near reality. Probably, but listen, it's fun. We'll take it. You never know what could happen. Maybe who are the Lions going to take here? They obviously love somebody. There's somebody they really want to go up and get. So let's find out who it was and who the plan is here in Detroit. Inside linebacker says LV001RW. Did you guys see the double clock earlier? I just wanted to know if this is an issue on my end, because I saw it on my phone, so I assume you guys saw it too. Jadarian Price. We wondered where that second running back would go. And so both Notre Dame running backs have been involved in trades. The Giants trading back, getting Love, and the Lions giving up next year's first-round pick for Price. But we've seen them, they've been aggressive at running back at Gibbs, and they've taken non-premium positions in the first. Jack Campbell, and it's worked out. So there you have it. Commanders take Pons, so we don't pick again till the third round. We got a third round pick. Moving up is going to be tough to do. Maybe we get back in the fourth round. But we're going to be sitting and waiting for a little while. Can you check each position? I can, as long as it doesn't take forever to load. Nussmeier, Aller, Beck, the top quarterbacks. Any quarterbacks you guys like in this year's draft? Running back, Mike Washington, Jonah Coleman, Emmett Johnson. Top receivers, Branch still out there. Fields, Williams, Ted Hurst. Top tight ends, Claire, Delp, Roush, Tiernan, Crownover, Parker, Bowery, the top tackles. Rutledge is, Keelan Rutledge, we're not taking a guard, but Rutledge is still out there. He might have just gone. I think I just saw him blip away. There he is. Good pick by Seattle. D-line, Citrus, and Halton, Jackson, Dennis Sutton, Height, top edge guys, Trotter, Lewis still out there. I like Barham. And the top safeties. We'll find out in a second. Chiefs take Keontae Scott, Wisniewski. How do you say that? Is it Wanpa? I forget my pronunciation on him. But more free safeties. But Clark, Wheatley ran slow at his pro day. Genesis Smith, not a great tackler. BJ Payne, kind of interesting, but safety kind of dried up there on me. Top corners, Abney, Stukes. Muhammad is still out there too, Malik Muhammad. So far we took Vega Ioane at 21, and then traded up and got Jeremy Bernard at pick number 36, and then traded up again in the second round, and then moved back to get a future first rounder. Nice pick by the Patriots to get Antonio Williams. Citrus would be a good zero tech. He would. BPA, a DBs, DL, inside linebacker. BJ Payne would be my choice. Is the quarterback from Arkansas still available? He is. Taylor Green is still there. It's only been Ty Simpson and, of course, Mendoza off the board so far. Hurst, Orange, Stukes has range, says John Pennington. Bud Clark, the only safety worth taking. Yeah, safety's getting to be thin after Halsey went off the board. I guess after the Bears lost Brisker to Pittsburgh, they took Halsey, and so it all kind of went full circle on that. As we have one pick in the third round, that is, 99, one of the last picks of the third, so we're still waiting a while unless we decide to trade up. I don't want to give up next year's capital, so it's harder to do, but we'll still look at it. As Seattle will take Tre'Davious Stukes. Alex is the new con artist. I'm the captain now. That's what I'm telling Omar. So we're hanging out for a bit. Just chatting in real life, who do you want Pittsburgh to consider at 21, or maybe who do you want them to not consider? Is there a pick that you would really dislike at 21 of the, let's say, semi-realistic options? So not somebody that would be a crazy reach or just somebody that seems like he has no chance of coming to Pittsburgh, one of the top edge guys, for example. Is there anybody that you really don't want this team to take that would have you actually upset and kind of ruin night one with the draft being held in Pittsburgh? Let me know your thoughts on that. As the Cardinals will pick and they'll take Zachariah Branch. And very quickly, Tennessee. There's the running back, Mike Washington Jr. Let's see. Control, squat, delete in terms of picks you wouldn't like. Denzel Boston. Chris Neal with a hot take, maybe. He says Ioane and Cooper. Ty Simpson at 21 would piss me off. That would be certainly a polarizing selection. I wouldn't be happy with Ty Simpson. I like a quarterback with some bulk. Says run by you. Thoughts on a late round fly for Kendall Daniels, for instance, linebacker, good size, tested slower than tape. I didn't really study him. I don't know if we wrote a report on Daniels. We may have. The Raiders take Surratt. They call him Waffle House. He's always open. Second Indiana receiver taken. When was the last time Indiana had two receivers taken in the top even 3 rounds? Is there another Hoosier taken when Pittsburgh took Randall L? The injury-prone receiver out of Arizona, which is Jordan Tyson. The all-knowing Peter Schrager has us taking an edge. So yeah, that would piss me off. Yeah, I hear you on that. Fanu, moving him to a new position, gives me major pause. That's for Spencer. I do not want one of the true tackles only. KC Concepcion. Draft would be ruined, says Craig, if that happens. Oh, Chris wants, I'm sorry, he wants Ioane or Cooper. Okay, my apologies. I wasn't sure what that was in response to, so fair. I was going to say that's a crazy take if you disliked both of those selections there. So we're in the 3rd round. I've only made 2 picks and a bunch of trades. Appreciate you guys hanging out with myself. Dennis Sutton of Penn State. Thank you guys so much who've picked a team and are drafting with us and our Depot crew. I know we have Dave and Joe and Ross. I believe Scott Brown is also drafting, maybe for the Raiders. Looks like it. As the Texans take Connor Liu. Mendoza gets his guy. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. I forgot about that. Yeah, good point. Fernando Mendoza, Elijah Surratt, staying together. That's fun. I like that. Browns take Max Clare. The trade activity is certainly lessened. And I think for us, trading up, probably not a possibility, giving up more capital now with just a 3rd and a 4th, unless we could package some of those 5th and 6th round picks. But of course, we're only doing 4 rounds of the draft. And so it's kind of insulting to offer that to somebody. Hey, here's nothing. But we're having a good time. A lot of fun. Really always look forward to these exercises with you guys. Can you react to the Browns picks with a poop emoji, please? A fair request, but I'll be a gentleman about it. Won't make enemies. See you recorded. Thank you. This is great fun from a Yorkshire living room at 2 a.m. Thanks for staying up with us, man, and picking for the Dolphins. F. War. Simpson would be a disaster. That seems to be the common name. Most people against Ty Simpson. Certainly it's not. There's no indication that Pittsburgh will take him, but you never know. Could there be a smokescreen? A draft day surprise? As the Bears make a good pick, and they get Josiah Trotter. Bengals quick pick, and it's Romello Height. There's so many Texas Tech guys this year. That defense, that front 7 is just all getting drafted. Bailey and Height and Hunter and Rodriguez So many Tech guys this year. I wonder what school will have the most draft picks this year. I know most people might say Georgia because it usually is the case, but Texas Tech's got a bunch. I got a couple receivers too, at least one in Caleb Douglas. But Texas A&M, man, they could have a bunch of guys. It was like they got 4 linemen who could be drafted and will be drafted. A corner in Will Lee the third. I mean, man, A&M, the Texas schools, going to produce a lot of this NFL draft. And there's Kyle Lewis going to the Saints. Nico 2K, of course. Alex somehow ends up with only 1 third rounder. Yeah, I only made 1 second round pick, and I still only have 1 third rounder. Only I can do that. But we got a 2027 first. So, I mean, it's hard to be mad at that. I think that's to still make those early picks, go up, get that receiver, and then get that next year's first. It's a good deal. Malachi Fields to the Giants. The Yorkshire at 2 a.m. making the pick now with Miami in the third. Ohio State should have a lot of draft picks, definitely. Yeah, they may lead it, and they often are up there, so they may lap the field this year. Alex, I think you got impulsive in the second round, almost panicked. I wanted to go up and get Halsey. That was going to be my guy. And then I panicked once he was gone, and I was saved by Detroit for offering me that deal. I would have panicked and been in a bad place if I was forced to pick after trading up. I don't know what I would have done. I probably would have just shut the computer off and ran away. It's my strategy. It's a flight, the more fight situation. So we're coming up here in about 24 picks. Keith Abney, the second. Top names on the board: Caleb Tiernan, Dominique Orange, Daverson Igbinosun, Ted Hurst. I like Hurst, even though I've taken Bernard Halton, Sam Hecht. Is Malik Muhammad still out there? He is. I don't know if he's going to last, but that would be an interesting pick. A lot of good corners. It's a good corner class. Ted Hurst to the Texans, and Tampa Bay's also made their selection. And it is, drum roll please, just not showing up. All right, just didn't show up. But Ross took Daverson Igbinosun out of Ohio State. So, yeah, like those are the glitches that I'm weirdly dealing with, and I don't know if that's on my end or if the site is bogged down or some combination of the two. Just didn't show up, didn't show me the name. That was weird. And now I'm really questioning if Malik Muhammad is gonna fall to me. So what would we take? Another corner? We've taken the safety. I haven't taken a safety. Really would like to get a safety. Bud Clark, maybe Wheatley. He can play free safety. I think Wheatley, BJ Payne. And the Colts take Skylar Bell. Hurst or Bell, no way they actually fall this far in the actual draft. You never know. I mean, there's a lot of good receivers. Sometimes when you have a lot of depth at a position, guys fall. There's always guys who fall. It never goes exactly how you think it's going to go and how we all project it to go. You look at Kuiper's big board or Daniel Jeremiah's big board in the middle of day 2 and sit there and say, well, that guy's not gone. That's going to happen to somebody. It's just, this is part of the draft experience. It's what makes it fun and really unique. So what are we thinking here as our pick gets near? And Dave's coming up here. Yeah, Wheatley, Brisker, JPJ are friends as well. Okay, yeah, all the Penn State guys. Joshua Joseph. Just taking the Tennessee edge rushers. James Pierce last year, which is looking questionable, and they'll take Josephs instead. Dave quickly running up the card. Who are the Ravens taking? He took Sadiq. Bryce Lance out of North Dakota State. I like the pick there. So Dave's taking Sadiq and Lance. We'll check the other pick in a second. Grayson Halton to Jacksonville. Who was the other pick? Who was the other guy that Dave took? It was a passer. It was Malachi Lawrence, right? That's who he took. Yeah, this thing's being super laggy. Like, I can't even click on a team right now. Every input takes quite some time. Wheatley a bit slow. Yeah, he ran on the 4.6s, and so there's certainly some pause there, but I think we've seen some safeties run slower and have good careers. Older, I think he might be on the older side. I don't know his exact age, top of my head, though. Alec, what do you think of the Ole Miss receiver Stribling? He gave me some Martavis vibes and may surprise and go around too. Yeah, I like Stribling. I watched him in passing, watching a bunch of Ole Miss tape for his teammates or opponents. As the Vikings take a receiver, yeah, I kind of dig that on Stribling. I think the grade we gave him was pretty high. It was in the 8s. It was one of the higher grades that you might see. So I get that, Mike. There goes Malik Muhammad. Nice pick. Yeah, we weren't gonna get so lucky with Muhammad falling all the way to us. And so what do you take here? Top corners, Julian Neal. Kilgore played both nickel and safety. I think he's a safety. You got Rivers. Devin Moore's got the size Pittsburgh looks for. Got the big Washington corners, DeCario, they call him Bobo Davis, and Ephesians Prysock. You got Charles Demings, one of the top FCS kids. So there still are some good corners. The safety pool feels weaker. You got Bud Clark. I don't think he's going to make it to Pittsburgh. You got Wheatley. What do you do from there? For fun, here in the third round, can I teach you to say Yorkshire and the word like famous recording artist Kesha instead of Shire? Oh, how do you say that? York? I'm not sure if I'm in the mindset to do that. I appreciate it though, and I apologize for saying it wrong. As we'll see these next picks come on in. Logan Jones, the center. There's always an Iowa center out there, isn't there? Picks are coming in fast and furious. So it was Neal to Green Bay, Julian Neal, the corner from Arkansas, Logan Jones, the center to Tennessee, and Barham staying pretty local to Cleveland. It's been a nice draft for the Browns. I think they've done a nice job. I know somebody wanted me to give the poop emojis, but it's been a good draft. You can't deny that. All right, our picks coming up here. I think we're looking at one of the safeties, Clark, Wheatley, maybe some corner help, but I don't know if there's a name I love. And then D-line, Orange, Daryl Jackson, McClellan, Corleone. Also, those are some good names to consider. Been sent a trade offer, so let's take a look at that offer. A 4th round, little move up there. No, we're not going to worry about that this far out, especially. Tiernan. What about inside linebacker? Elarms Orr? What do you guys think about that? Perkins? Jack Kelly? Red Murdoch and his, 19 career forced fumbles? Going to be interesting. I'm thinking still secondary if there's going to be some talent, but if not, we may pivot off and go front 7. Run by you, $5 super chat. Vonta Mac, no matter what. You guys like the draft day movie? How do you feel about that? I think it's a movie I love to hate. That's what I put. That's the category I put the draft day movie. I go Clark here. He's on their radar and he's BPA at their position. But Clark, yeah, if he's there, I think he's probably the guy. Even with just 10 picks to go, I am skeptical he's going to make it to Pittsburgh. We'll see what Chicago does here. Jackson Jr., says Dorkman. Garrett Nussmeier, the third quarterback. Wondered who that would be and to who and where. He'll go to Chicago. We should at least look at the quarterbacks, given that our situation's not great. Drew Aller, do you guys like any of these quarterbacks? Just even putting the draft aside, this exercise, just overall, Aller, Beck, Cole Payton, Talon Green. It was somebody who was all about Talon Green. We gave a high grade to Sawyer Robertson. I think we're going to look at the top DBs, and if not, then we're going to look at front seven, at D-line and off-ball linebacker. That's going to be our approach, I think. And there goes Bud Clark. He heard us talk about Bud Clark. But Jackson's gone. I didn't realize he was gone. So those are two targets, taking all the Steelers' targets. Buffalo picking. Genesis Smith. I just heard another pick come in too. And it is the Big Citrus going to Cleveland as their great picks continue, and the picks are coming off the board in a hurry. And it's Deshaun Stribling, who just talked about to the Rams. A nice pick by Joe. Miami's on the clock, man. How many picks do the Dolphins have? And they're taking everybody. So we're coming up here. We got Wheatley. There is VJ Payne. At corner, it's getting thinner. I think we start looking at off-ball linebacker, Elarms, or look at D-line. What's out there? Proctor, McClellan, Corleone, Xavion Harris, Benny. What do you guys think? We got to start making some decisions here. Citrus is a nose tackle. Oscar Delp. Clarence says Green tore it up with Coach Gruden. Yeah, I haven't watched the Gruden quarterback camps. I need to. I'll probably do it this weekend. I know they've already broadcast a bunch of them. So, yeah, I like Talon Green. I mean, in the sense, like, he's a mature guy, really athletic. At just 46 starts, still a lot of bad habits to break. It's just a dubious combination for me. So let me put a poll out really quickly. I should have did this early if I had foresight. I'm going to just kind of give maybe two names for you guys to choose. You know, my computer's chugging. I think it's my computer's issue that, man, why can't it just handle this right now? That's kind of crazy. I don't even know who to put down here. You know what? I might have to bail on the poll because my computer, I think, is not happy with me trying to do that right now. And I'm going to probably miss my pick if I try to do that. So we're going to have to abandon that part of it. Let's put this mock back up on screen. I think we're good now. So we just had Chris McClellan go, which would have been a really good pick. The board is not breaking well for us. Let me put it back up. Yeah, the site, it looks intensive with graphics. It's really not. It just, I mean, I've always ran it in the past fine. So I don't know. I'm not sure what is going on. Maybe it is hogging up on my memory, but I really don't want to mess around with it too much and have to IT it up here. With our pick coming up especially. So Seattle on the clock. We're going to stick and pick. We're not going to trade up. We're not going to trade down. Seattle's going to make their pick. And then it's Minnesota, Philadelphia, and then us. And Kieran Crawford. I think another pick just came in. Let's check it. Minnesota. We get a look here before we're on the clock. Put in your suggestions. Xavier Harris. And so it's Philadelphia and then us. I think Wheatley's... We're looking at Wheatley. I think it's down to Wheatley. We got a trade offer. We probably will not take it, but we'll look. With Carolina. No, we're going to reject that. Wheatley, Corleone, or let's go with Elarms or. One of those three. Put it in the chat. We'll do an informal poll. Wheatley, Corleone, Elarms, or as our pick. One of those three names. That should be our selection. Wheatley, Corleone, the nose tackle, or Elarms, or the off-ball linebacker. As we're getting ready to pick. Philadelphia about to run up their name. Hard pass on Wheatley, but Jared says Wheatley. I got faith in GM Kozora. I appreciate that. All right, Steelers are on the clock. Let's see who the Eagles took. The Eagles take Dion Burks, Wheatley, Corleone, Elarms, or. Get a nose. It's pretty split between Wheatley and Corleone. And we got not a lot of time to make this decision. Inside linebacker, says Dave. I think more people are probably saying Corleone. But we got a good number on Wheatley, too. It's been split. It has been split. What about Sam Roush? I don't have time for those other decisions. I think we're going to make a decision. We're going to go Zachy Wheatley. Or Zaki. Maybe it's Zaki. To get that future free safety. Take that over the nose tackle. And so he is our third round pick, and we will just transplant Penn State secondary circa a couple years ago and bring it that short 2-hour drive from State College to Pittsburgh with Jaquan Brisker and Joey Porter Jr. and now Mr. Wheatley. As Jacksonville will take Emmett Johnson, another running back going off the board. So that was 99 overall with Wheatley, the tight end. Yeah, Sam Roush was out there. That would have been... I hear you, Mike, on that one. But just lesser... I don't know. I think I still would have gone with Wheatley. That would have been close. Titans take Kilgore. For those who missed it, we got Bega Ioane at 21, traded up to get Jeremy Bernard early in the second. Take a look at the Raiders pick. Markel Bell. There you go. And then we had moved back up into the second. I planned to take AJ Halsey from LSU. He went off the board. Detroit offered us a 2027 first-round pick to move out of that second-round spot, and so we took that instead. And so while we have less picks for the here and now, we got that future first, which is a game changer, giving up a late second for it. Pretty happy about that. So we got one more pick to make here. This 4-round mock draft. More snaps in nose tackle makes sense. Does Wheatley play special teams? I'm sure he has, and I'm sure he will in Pittsburgh, because he'll be a backup or rotational player. Love the draft, including Arch Manning with an extra first. Yeah, we don't know who would be next year. Arch would be tough to get if he's going to be the top overall pick next year, but it could be a good quarterback class. Farmer, the guard. Big Mauler. Jets having a nice draft. After surprising, who did the Jets take it to? They took Maui Noah. So kind of a curveball early, but I like the Jets draft. You started on fire, but we're burning fast. That future first is a con artist move for 27. Yeah, just focus on next year. It always hurts to trade back and get that future capital because you want the pick now. But patience is a virtue. And if that quarterback class hits next year and you find that guy, then you're feeling really happy about that move. And obviously when you have job security like Omar Khan and a new head coach and Mike McCarthy, you can see these things to not have to worry about, I got to pick right now to save my job. So we're picking in about 20 spots. Probably looking inside linebacker, D-line, or tight end with our last pick of this mock draft. Hurst is off the board, John. He went earlier. Yeah, Tommy, there's no question. I'm not saying that 27 is guaranteed to be good. I've written about that you can't trust the next year's class will be amazing. We've said that a lot. As the Giants take Corleone, that's very on brand there. Yeah, there's no guarantee, but it could be. We recognize that it could be a good class. Projections say that it's likely to be a strong class. Now, will some guys underperform? Yes. Will some guys overperform and come out of nowhere? Yes. But I think it's safe to say that you're going to probably have a stronger class next year than this year and last year. And I think if you get future capital to do that, then great. And if not, if the quarterback class goes belly up, or if Will Howard looks amazing and he ends up playing, then you have 2 first-round picks next year, and you're happy just to have the 2 first-rounders. Where everyone else is taking quarterbacks, and if you have Howard, then you got other picks to get other premium talent. I mean, it gives you options to have 2 first-rounders, giving up a late 2. That's pretty darn good. Alex, trade back that first to make it more realistic. Yeah, I could, but I don't know. We're just going to stick. We're in the 4th round at this point, so trading up a future first for a 4th round pick, not going to happen. But thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you being here for this stream, and I know you've been at the other usual every other Monday live streams that Dave and I do, so appreciate that. We'll take a look at the board after the Chargers pick. What about the traits with Devin Moria as a press corner? Yeah, we could see that. Fits what Pittsburgh looks for in the position lately. And the Chargers will take the center, Jake Slaughter. Denver with back-to-back picks here. So let's take a look at the board. Linebacker, Lawson, Elam's are still out there. Elliott, Botcher, Perkins, Kelly, Murdoch. D-line, we have Proctor and Benny. Overton, sort of a tweener. Capehart, Zane Durant. Not really a scheme fit, though. And then tight end, you got Roush, Jolly, Trigg. Marlon Klein is out there. We could look at Marlon Klein in the 4th round. Take a look at tackle, too. Got a question about that. That's fair. We haven't looked at tackles too much. Crown over. Parker, even though he may play inside. Bowery, Casey may kick inside as well. Austin Barber, Drew Shelton. To tackle, it's starting to thin out, which is typical given the value of the position. Yeah, Slaughter, what a great name. Pittsburgh has a Slaughter. They signed Danico Slaughter, who's a defensive back from Arkansas. He signed a reserve future contract, so assuming he makes it to training camp, we'll hear about a Slaughter this summer. And he'll be fighting for a roster spot. Kind of a tall, stiff-hipped corner to Danico Slaughter, but an A-plus name. Denver took Proctor with their first 4th round selection on the back-to-back on the other side. See who Denver selects. Get ready for our pick. This is what? What pick number is this? 121, I think. See what Denver does. Jonah Coleman A running back out of Washington. Still no Darnell Savage news? No, and I'm going to work under the assumption it's not happening. Maybe it does, but it's been a month. Trey Zune. Bengals get O-line help. I don't know if that's a medical thing or if Savage decided, well, they brought in Brisker and they're keeping Ramsey and I just don't want to go in that crowded secondary. And so maybe he just said thanks, but no thanks, but does not appear to be happening. Why tight end? I think depth is still valuable. Pittsburgh, as you said, will run more 11 personnel. But what if you have one injury to Frymuth in Washington? You know, McCarthy's still run a decent amount of 12 personnel. He ran it, you know, he runs it 25, 30% of the time. So I think for a team that has nothing as a number, like literally nothing at number 3 tight end, it's Galbraith and that's it. I think you need to draft tight end at some point. Maybe not right now, but I think it's worth to talk about that. Especially as a blocker, if you can get a more blocking type. If Washington went down, you know, that you really want something else there. And the Broncos are in the negatives. They've picked 3 of the last 4 times, and so they're breaking the time-space continuum. And they take the tight end. One of the punters has a funny name. Wonder which one that is. I don't know. There's Thorson and Eckley, and there's the Florida kid and Stonehouse. Maybe that's the funny name one. His brother, Ryan, was a really good punter, and I'm surprised he fell out of the league last year. Bell would convert from tackle to guard because of his footwork. I don't know. 6'9" guard? That feels not ideal for leverage. Elarm's Or goes, all right, let's start thinking about who you guys want as the pick. We're going to put here either Marlon Klein, a little bit down the board. Marlon Klein is going to be one option. We'll say Devin Moore to kind of stick with the theme of big corners. And we need an off-ball option. Let's say Harold Perkins Jr. Let's say Harold Perkins Jr., Marlon Klein, or Devin Moore. Because a tackle, I just don't see enough there. Quarterback is also a possibility. Well, I'll put in Drew Aller too. Let's talk about quarterback too. So Aller, Klein, Perkins, or Moore. Let me know who you think we should take with our 4th round selection. I think Stribling's gone. Stribling was taken. I don't know where he went exactly, but he's off the board. Otherwise, I would understand the double dip there. I'm pretty sure he went somewhere. Where did Stribling go? Maybe I'm wrong. I could have sworn his name went off the board. Yeah, he went. Joe took him in the 3rd round. It was a nice pick by Joe. Capehart or Botcher, Devin Moore. Moore is slow, cannot keep up with a burner. Of the 4, go Perkins. Give me Perkins, says Mike Hand. So it feels like Perkins. This is Cole Payton erasure. If you want to make the case for Cole Payton, I get it. I hear you on the upside. Feels like Perkins is the vibe right now if he's there. And we got Dave coming up after a strong Ravens draft, which it always is, as the Eagles are now negative 10 seconds. The Eagles will take Crown over. One of those many Aggie offensive linemen expected to be drafted this year. Aller says Benai and Digital Man. Perkins has a 57-1 coverage grade. It's so hard to cover as an inside linebacker. I don't know. Ravens take, oh, there's a good pick. Billy Schrouth out of Notre Dame. That's a solid pick there. And so there's the guard for Baltimore. As long as the medicals are okay on him, I think it limited some of Stroud's testing. But that's a solid pick. I like his tape. I watched the USC game watching, I think it was Shadarian Price, and Stroud just was moving people that day. So we got Moore, Perkins, Aller, and who was the last one? On the D-line, I think. No, it wasn't a D-lineman. Who was the other one? Moore, Perkins, Aller, or it was Klein. It was Klein at tight end. That was the one we were looking at. Marlon Klein. Pittsburgh loves themselves a Big Ten tight end. Chargers about to pick here. Check receiver. Yeah, we can look at a double dip at receiver. That's fair. Let's see. Brennan Thompson, Josh Cameron, Kevin Coleman, Caldwell, Allen, Virgil Law. Weejan, love a returner on day 3. There goes Thompson. The speed demon. And there's a quick pick. Who went? Decario Davis, Bobo. Called him Bobo because of his childhood haircut in the shape of a bowl. So he got the nickname Bobo. They listed him Arizona. He was at Arizona, then went to Washington. Deontay Lawson. So we're coming up here pretty quick. Get your final comments in. Who are we taking here in the 4th round? Let us know. Jason Williams, what's up, man? Appreciate you being here. All right, this sim is kind of breaking on me now. Justin Jolly, the tight end going to NC State. None of the picks are really like actually showing like they should. So I don't know what's going on there. But let me know your thoughts. Klein, Aller, Moore, Perkins. We're on the clock. We are on the draft clock. Came up fast. Devin Moore goes, so he is no longer an option for us. Perkins, Klein, Aller. Those are the names. I'd get Klein. We got to make a pick here. We got to make it quickly. What are we going to do here? Perkins, Klein, Drew Aller. Yeah, Chandler Rivers, we could do that, but I think we're going to narrow the 3, and we got to make a decision here and do so in under 30 seconds. And right now, I'm not sure if there's a consensus, so I might have to intervene and make the selection here. I don't know. Got some Drew Aller's picks there. There might be enough to sway it. All right, we're going to do it. This is not the pick that I personally would make, but we're going to go Penn State. We're going to go quarterback. We're going to go Drew Aller. Mike McCarthy, go coach him up. He needs it. But the physical tools are there. And this feels like something Pittsburgh could be doing come actual draft day. So I'm sure many people will dislike this. It's good to get some heat, some hate. It was too nice at the beginning. We need some people to yell at me. That makes it a true mock draft experience. Who I would have probably taken Marlon Klein, probably would have my pick in that situation. And there goes Rivers to the G-Men. Giants having a nice draft. Tyrone Keaton says he'd lose his mind if Aller was the pick. Surprised though, Georgia connection on Everett there. Peyton loves this draft. Thank you, Peyton. Aller was in a terrible situation at Penn State. No receivers, coach chaos, bad scheme. Yeah, I know, 2 years ago, it was Tyler Warren, and that was it. I remember watching some of those games, and it just was literally how many times can Tyler Warren touch the ball in a given game. And obviously he was fantastic, but there wasn't a lot at receiver. But I don't know if you can totally detach evaluation on Aller. There were still a lot of mental mistakes and mechanically things to work on where you like his game to be more developed. But that's why Mike McCarthy's here, to coach him up. So we got 3 Penn State selections, just transplanting State College to Pittsburgh in Ioane and Wheatley and Drew Aller. So that's unique. But we're scouting the players, not just the helmets. Peyton Aller, I don't know. My opinion is don't draft a quarterback. I'm just not taking a quarterback anywhere. Maybe 7th round just to get a guy, so I don't have to fight for him as a UDFA. But I'm just not drafting a quarterback. And you assume Rodgers comes back, and you have Howard and Rudolph, and you add that 4th as a UDFA or 7th round pick, and then you look at 27. Like, I'm a take one early or don't take one at all kind of a guy when it comes to drafting quarterbacks. So what grade would you guys give this draft? If it was Ioane, Bernard, Wheatley, Aller, and then also picking up a 2027 first-round pick as part of that trade down we had late in the 2nd round with Detroit, what would you give it? So factor that additional future capital in, because I think you have to, and then give it a grade. Would you say A, B, C, D, something else? If this was the pick and the selections starting next week, which starts in less than a week now that it's 8:32. Dave's draft, realistic, he asks Kenyon Sadiq, Malachi Lawrence, Bryce Lance, and Billy Schrauth. I think that's a very good, classic, solid Ravens draft. Got a B+, C+, B, C+, C-, A-, B. Yeah, I feel like I'm feeling a B. But again, that it's harder to feel emotionally tied to that first-round pick next year until you actually are sitting there next year. So it doesn't feel, especially in a sim like this where we're not actually ever going to reap that reward. But I would say B. That's kind of my feel on that. I would say a B. And then you got your day 3 picks, or more of your day 3 picks for Pittsburgh to round things out. You'd be looking at tight end, be looking at D-line help. C+. We got a P from Dorkman for terrific, I assume. So we'll have so much draft coverage for you guys, not just during the draft, although obviously we'll be nonstop busy with that, but so much final pre-draft thoughts. Our receiver rankings will go up tomorrow. We got a bunch of big boards coming, one from Devin Jackson, one from all the 300-plus scouting reports our great team has assembled. I'll cobble that together, put it in one nice, easy-to-read, easy-to-find, sortable table for you guys to go through. My final mock draft on Tuesday. I think Dave's will come out on Wednesday. Josh Carney, Ross McCorkle, Joe Clark, our depot team, Ryan Paglia will have their mock drafts as well. We'll have our final scouting reports, and then, of course, all the coverage, who the picks are, instant analysis during Thursday, Friday, Saturday in the 2026 NFL Draft as the Cardinals take Carson Beck. And so assuming we have a scouting report on a player, the second the pick is in, we'll write up the pick. We'll have the scouting report stickied and brought back to the top of the page. Obviously, we'll have that for all the early round selections and hopefully for a lot of the day 3 guys too. So if you want information on who did Pittsburgh just take, what kind of player are they getting, what's their background, how does he fit, Steelers Depot, the place to go. That's my shameless plug of it all. For you guys who've been around the site, you know what we do. But for those who are new, if you want one-stop shop coverage of the Steelers draft and what should be a really fun and important draft with 12 picks, probably a lot of trades for us to talk about too. And the quarterback run is going. Miami taking Taylon Green. Miami's had so many picks. Let's look at Miami's draft here just briefly. If I can get it to come up here. Lemon, Chris Johnson, how do you say that? Eikenor, Abney, Jackson, Clark, Delp. Man, that's a good draft for Miami. You got to give that big kudos to the Dolphins there. See what Ross and Joe did. Joe was the Rams. Freeling went up for Ty Simpson and then got Stribling. I like that. The Simpson move is super fun. And then I know Ross was Chiefs, Bailey, Boston, trading up for Bailey, Boston, 2 first-round picks, and Keontae Scott. And then we'll look at Scott Brown. I think it's Scott for the Raiders. Mendoza, McDonald, Surratt, Bell, Tacario Davis. That's a great draft. I think I'm going to sub in any of those guys to draft for me next year because I think all those guys crushed it in terms of some really smart picks. P for Penn State. There you go. I like that. F4, this is always the highlight of the draft for me. Great job, everyone. Thank you, F4. Thank you for being here. I know you've been here in the past, and really appreciate that. It's a highlight for myself, too. It's been a lot of fun. I'm glad we could really get a lot of you guys to interact with it, too. Draft takes a hit after round 3. Big dip in talent. Yeah, I think at the top, it's not super blue chippy, and then there's some good depth at certain positions, but then it's going to thin out probably by day 3. So we'll pick Pittsburgh packet some of those early day 3 picks in anticipation of that. Maybe, but other teams will know that talent could thin out too, which would make it harder to trade up. Any final Steelers questions as we go through the last picks of round number 4 in this 4-round mock draft? As a couple of linemen went, let me scroll back down to the recent picks. Jacoby Thomas, safety from the U. Can you move up, deal one of our 7th rounders in our 5th? I don't know if we can do that in time. I mean, I can see if I can swindle the computer. I think a little swindling's okay. I think I played it pretty conventional. Let's see if I gave up a 5th and a 6th to get their 4th. Nope, it's been rejected. I don't think I'll be able to do that. There goes Marlon Klein. And the tight end run. A couple of tight ends going back-to-back to close out round 4. Yeah, certainly going to do this next year, for sure. Is this the year the Steelers draft a punter? It could be. Actually, I was looking at it. Pittsburgh has not signed a UDFA punter since 2020. I don't know the circumstances. I mean, last year was Johnston and Waitman he already had on roster, but will they draft a punter? They've not signed a lot of UDFA punters recently, so they're going to add a punter, be that UDFA or a draft pick. They need a returner, too. They need a kick returner and punt returner. Austin's gone. Their kick return team has been miserable the 2 years under the new kickoff dynamic model, so they need a kick returner, whether that's Berrien Brown or Caden Weegens, the top of the class, or Desmond Reed, or Michael Wortham, or somebody. They got to get a returner, somebody who could infuse some juice there. What they have even on roster right now, there just isn't a whole lot to get you excited at Dowdle and Warren and maybe Roman, but there's just it's not much in the return game. They need to get some juice there. Eagles having a good draft. Taking another safety after taking Thieneman. They took BJ Payne. Do you think Pittsburgh trades Rudolph? If they did, it'd be in the summer. It would not be a draft day. Even if they draft a quarterback, you're going to take those guys into camp. Never know who gets hurt. Look at Will Howard last year. So it'd be, someone else suffers an injury in camp and Rudolph has some value. Howard would have to really shine in the summer, which he may. But if that happens, any of those trades, whether that's him, Roman, Caleb Johnson, we're talking summer stuff than anything on draft day or anything immediate. $5 super chat coming in from BMAC41298. Thanks for hosting, even though I don't know much at all about what the Titans needed, but could they get really worse? That's a good spin. Let's look at the Titans after the Niners make they're making back-to-back picks. What did the Titans get? Reese, Brazel, Washington, Jones, Kilgore, Devin Moore. That's solid. I think it's a good Titans draft. As you said, they need a lot of help, but I think that's good. I think Kilgore is good value. You're getting some of these big DBs like Kilgore and Moore in the 4th round. Logan Jones at center to replace Cushenberry. I don't know if they signed a center. The Titans did. Maybe they did. But it looks good to me. So, a lot of fun here. Hopefully the lagginess that I was experiencing didn't shine through too much. I don't think it did, but it was really weird on my end, which kind of made it a little bit harder to navigate and click around, and I couldn't do the polls that I like to try to do in the past, so apologies for that, but still a lot of fun. There'll be an archive version of this on my YouTube channel, maybe on the site as well. We'll see. So you guys can go back and watch it if you missed it or just want to go back and watch it again. So Chris, thank you so much. Appreciate that. It's got to be guard. You got to take the best player available. He says best player in the draft. Just take the best player. That's all from Sean. So I think we got good value. I think we took the BPA at 21 with Ioane. I think that's how that board broke for us, and we're happy about that. All right, last pick of the 4th round, last pick of the draft. We'll go to the Jets, who had the 2nd overall selection, the first user to pick. I don't think Scott joined until maybe after, I forget. Either way, the last pick will go to the Jets. And Amadou, me, Chris, yeah, thank you so much. Really happy you guys could join. We'll make it interactive next year too. Maybe this platform, maybe something else. I appreciate those who did sign up. I know it did come at the cost of the feature premium version. So appreciate you doing that. Again, money does not go to me. It all goes to the website, Walk the Mock. And so super fun. Really enjoy doing this. And we'll certainly do it next year. And again, we'll have so much draft coverage for you guys leading up to the draft. Still a lot of things for us to write about and talk about and discuss. Love the podcast. Dave and I tomorrow, the coordinators will speak on Friday, and Angelico and Graham and Crossman. And so mini camp is starting Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Could we get an Aaron Rodgers decision? Who the heck knows? But this is going to be nonstop, and we're excited. And Cole Payton, the final pick of the draft. That's fun. I like going out on that note. So reminder of our picks: Vega Ioane, Jeremy Bernard, Zachy Wheatley, and Drew Aller. It's the Penn State bunch and Bernard. And then we traded back late 2nd round to get a future 1st round pick with Detroit. And so ton of fun here. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Again, there'll be an archive version of this on my YouTube channel, maybe the site as well. I'm not 100% sure if we'll post it on there. Sometimes these download times take a while to officially process and complete. Who's your round 1 guy that you would be underwhelmed with, excluding edge? I didn't love Denzel Boston as much as maybe others do, so I'd be a little underwhelmed by that. Who's your dream pick at 21? I don't know if I should spoil it, because I plan on writing about this, because you guys always ask, what would you do, Alex? Not just what you think Pittsburgh will do, but there's a defensive player that I really have an eye on that I would love to find a way to get. So as much as I do like Ioane, he probably would not be my dream selection at 21 or even in a trade-up scenario. But I'm gonna hold the answer, and I'll hopefully write about that. If I forget to write about it or don't have time, Mike, yell at me, and I'll answer you on Twitter or something. I wonder if the fans would boo if Simpson's picked. That's a good question. I think it'd be a lot of cheers, because I think people are just like quarterbacks. Yeah, I don't know the reaction on that, because people like Will Howard too. So that's I don't know if we'll find out that reaction. I don't think Pittsburgh will take Simpson, but I wonder what that reaction would be like. McCoy's the dream. Yeah, that's a good dream pick. Yeah, I'm with you on that. There's been some scuttlebutt about his knee, but yeah, I like McCoy. That'd be a good pick there. McDonald, I don't think McDonald would be the dream as a nose tackle. Good player, but I think that's maybe a trade down scenario. I think he'll probably go in the range of his teammate last year, Tyleek Williams, who went 30th to Detroit. I'll be at the draft and won't boo any pick. Yeah, hopefully you cheer it. I mean, people could do whatever they want, but I'm not a boo guy. I think you should cheer. It's fun. It's in Pittsburgh. Have it, show the excitement. It's hard. I don't think Pittsburgh can really make a bad pick here unless something crazy happens. So I'm a cheer all the way kind of a guy. So I think it'll be a lot of fun for the city and for the Steelers. So we're going to wrap things up here. Appreciate you guys so much. A lot of fun. An archive version of this on the YouTube channel. Check out SteelersDepot.com. Ton of content coming your way. A lot of final draft thoughts, and appreciate everybody who signed up, who drafted, who hung out with us, who donated super chats. You guys are awesome. Can't wait to see what this draft finally looks like, to talk about the picks after months of speculation and kind of research. And so always excited to see the actual selections, to talk about how these guys can help the Steelers in 2026 and beyond. So thank you guys so much. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, check out the site, SteelersDepot.com. Thank you again, and we'll talk to you soon.